You're sitting in a cafe you've been to 100 times. Same table, same latte, same free Wi-Fi. You open your laptop, type, chat, OpenAI, and start pouring your brain into that little text box. Your client's confidential project, your company's internal strategy, your personal fears, your relationships, your money worries. It feels safe, right? It's just you and an AI. A private chat. Nobody else is reading. At least, that's what you tell yourself. Now imagine this. Someone in the same cafe quietly runs a simple tool on their laptop. They can't see your exact words, but they can see where your traffic is going when you connect, how often you send stuff, and they can correlate it with everything else you do online on that same network. And that harmless, free Wi-Fi you trust? It's the same place you log into email, your cloud drive, your social media, all from the same device, on the same day, with the same IP. In 2025, your private ChatGPT conversations on public Wi-Fi are not as private as you think. Between the cafe's network, your internet provider, advertisers, and anyone snooping on that open network, your digital life is constantly leaving traces. In this video, I want to show you why ChatGPT on public Wi-Fi without a VPN is like whispering secrets into a microphone in a crowded room. What a VPN really does and does not do for your AI chats, and how to build a simple, human-friendly security stack so you don't have to live in paranoia, but you also don't sleepwalk into a data nightmare. Let me introduce you to someone you probably recognize very well. We'll call him Daniel. Daniel is not a hacker, not an IT admin, not a cybersecurity expert. He's a remote worker who loves good coffee, flexible hours, and getting things done from anywhere with decent Wi-Fi. On a Tuesday morning, Daniel walks into an airport cafe before his flight. He's early, a bit anxious about a big presentation he's preparing for a potential six-figure client. He orders a coffee, finds a seat near a power outlet, and does what millions of people do every single day. He connects to airport_free_Wi-Fi without thinking twice. He opens ChatGPT. For weeks, he's been using it like a digital brain, drafting contracts, polishing proposals, brainstorming pricing strategies, even summarizing internal reports that his company would never want outside their walls. Today, he pastes in the raw outline of his upcoming proposal, including client names, internal margins, even some sensitive financial projections. He tells himself, "It's fine. This is just text. It's not like I'm uploading a database." While his latte gets cold, he and ChatGPT shape the perfect deck. Once he's happy, Daniel saves it to his cloud drive, closes his laptop, and heads to the gate feeling productive and proud. A few days later, something strange happens. He gets an email from his cloud storage provider. New sign-in on your account from an unfamiliar location. He assumes it's a glitch. He changes nothing. Then his inbox shows password reset attempts he doesn't remember. His business Instagram gets a login notification from a city he's never visited. His bank flags a suspicious attempt to add a new device. Slowly, Daniel's calm starts to crack. He notices that ads he sees feel eerily specific. Not just generic VPN or generic AI tools, but suggestions frighteningly close to the confidential project he just worked on. He starts asking himself, wait, how much of what I do online is actually visible to other people? One evening, a friend who works in cybersecurity listens to his story and asks a simple question. Did you use a VPN when you were working on that proposal at the airport? Daniel shrugs. No. Why would I? It's just ChatGPT. And that Wi-Fi is from the airport. It's official. It should be safe, right? His friend sighs. He explains that public Wi-Fi, even when it's secured with a password on the wall, is still a shared environment where other devices and the network operator can see a surprising amount of metadata about what you're redoing. Even if the content of the chat is encrypted, the who/when/where/how often can still paint a detailed picture of Daniel's habits. Combine that with reused passwords, old sessions, and a few careless logins, and suddenly the harmless airport session becomes the weak point attackers and trackers exploit. Daniel feels a wave of panic rising in his chest. He replays that morning in the cafe. The free Wi-Fi, the rushed deadline, the feeling of being clever because he used AI to move faster, and now this sickening question. Did I just feed my client secrets, and my own, into a system that I don't really understand, over a network I don't control? For the first time, he realizes his problem was never one big hack moment. It was a long chain of tiny, convenient decisions. Always choosing free Wi-Fi, saving passwords in the browser without a second thought, pasting confidential text into tools because it felt private, never using a VPN unless someone forced him to. The worst part? He's not stupid. He's just human. He did exactly what the modern internet trains us to do. Move fast, share everything, trust the magic. And maybe, as you're listening to this, you can see a part of yourself in Daniel. That one time you logged into your work email on hotel Wi-Fi. That one quick check of your bank account from the airport terminal. That one late-night ChatGPT message where you dumped your company's internal mess into a chat box because it was easier than writing from scratch. Daniel's story isn't about a genius hacker or a dramatic movie-style breach. It's about someone like you, like me, like almost everyone online today, someone who thought, I'm not important enough to be a target. Until the day the internet quietly reminded him that his data is valuable, even if his name isn't famous. Why do stories like Daniel's keep happening, over and over, to smart people who should know better? It's not just about one risky cafe or one forgotten VPN toggle. There are 3 deeper layers that quietly push us towards becoming easy targets. First layer, our personal psychology. Most of us grow up with the idea that important people are the ones who get hacked, watched, or targeted. We tell ourselves things like, I'm just a normal person. I don't have state secrets. I have nothing to hide. That mindset is incredibly convenient, not for you, but for everyone collecting your data. It keeps you from reading the fine print. It keeps you from questioning that free Wi-Fi login page. It keeps you from noticing how much of your life you voluntarily feeding into tools, including AI, that aren't truly transparent about how your information is handled. We also love convenience more than we love safety. No one wakes up excited to manage passwords, check privacy settings, or learn about encryption. Given the choice, our brain will always pick. Use the free Wi-Fi and get this done now. Stop, reevaluate the risk, open a VPN, double-check what I'm about to paste. Second layer, the lack of a personal security system. Most people have no real structure for how they live online. No rules for when to use a VPN and when it's optional. Which accounts must have strong, unique passwords. What kind of information should never be pasted into ChatGPT or any other AI tool? How to handle public Wi-Fi differently from home Wi-Fi. So they improvise. They reuse the same password with a few extra numbers across everything. They leave old sessions logged in forever. They treat confidential work documents and random memes with the same level of protection, basically none. Without a simple framework, every decision happens in the moment, under pressure, in a rush. And rush decisions are where attackers and data-hungry systems quietly win. Third layer, a digital environment that profits from your exposure. We live in an ecosystem where free apps make money by turning your behavior into a product. Websites are packed with trackers and pixels silently logging what you click. Platforms want you to stay online as long as possible so they can learn more about you. Public networks collect logs for analytics or security that may later be shared, sold, or leaked. When you bring ChatGPT into this world, especially over public Wi-Fi, you not speaking to a neutral notebook. You adding another layer of intimate data on top of an already massive profile of who you are, what you care about, and how you behave. Even if AI tools encrypt your chats in transit, the surrounding context is still highly revealing. The times you connect, the size and frequency of your requests, the fact that you're using an AI tool heavily for work or for personal matters. And when all of that flows over the same open network where you check your email, cloud drive, and social accounts, patterns emerge. So when you ask, how dangerous is it to use ChatGPT on public Wi-Fi without a VPN? The real answer is, it's not about one message, one day, or one cafe. It's about a system that is constantly collecting tiny pieces of you, and a mindset that keeps telling you, it's probably fine. I'm not important. The good news is, you don't have to become a paranoid security expert. But you do need to stop playing a game you don't understand with rules that were never designed in your favor. In a moment, I'll give you a simple framework to fix that. But before we talk about solutions, you need to hear one uncomfortable truth about VPNs and privacy that almost no marketing page will tell you. Let's be brutally honest for a second. Buying a VPN will not magically fix your life. It will not make you invisible. and it will not undo years of careless habits in one click. Most people either overestimate what a VPN can do or underestimate how badly they need one. On one side, there's the fantasy. I'll get a VPN, turn it on, and boom, I'm safe from hackers, companies, governments, and whoever else wants my data. On the other side, there's the denial. VPNs are only for criminals, power users, or people who want to watch foreign Netflix. I'm not that person. Both of these are wrong. Here's the uncomfortable truth. You are the biggest security risk in your digital life. Not the App Store, not the cafe, not even the AI. It's your patterns, your shortcuts, your just this once decisions. When you use ChatGPT on public Wi-Fi without a VPN, the danger isn't that the AI itself will suddenly betray you like a movie villain. The danger is that you're stacking sensitive behavior, confidential chats, accounts, files, on top of a network you don't control, with habits you've never really examined. A VPN is powerful because it gives you one crucial thing: a private, encrypted tunnel between your device and the wider internet. It hides what you're doing from the cafe's network, from people snooping on that Wi-Fi, and it reduces how much your internet provider can see. But notice something: a VPN does not stop you from pasting company secrets into tools that don't need them, using the same weak password everywhere, clicking on phishing links, chatting about deeply personal issues in places where you don't understand the data policy. A VPN doesn't fix bad judgment. It protects good judgment from being exploited on hostile networks. So if you're hoping this video will end with, just install VPN X, hit connect, and never worry again, that's not how this works. Instead, I want you to flip the story, stop asking, do I really need a VPN? And start asking, why am I so comfortable doing sensitive things on networks I don't own, using tools I barely understand, without even giving myself basic protection? The world has changed. You're no longer just someone on the internet. You're a walking collection of data points worth money, influence, and power to the systems that track you. That's why this video isn't about scaring you into a subscription. It's about treating your online life with the same seriousness you treat your physical home. You wouldn't share a house key with a stranger because they probably want to use it. You wouldn't hold a confidential meeting in the middle of a loud cafe and assume nobody is listening. But every day, people do the digital equivalent of exactly that. The paradox is this: you don't need to be perfect to be much safer. You just need to stop being naive. In the next part, I'll give you a simple, realistic framework that combines good habits plus a serious VPN plus a few practical guardrails, so you can keep using tools like ChatGPT without constantly wondering who else might be listening. Not to become invisible, but to stop being an easy target. Let's make this simple. Think of your digital life as a small apartment. It doesn't have to be a fortress, but it does need locks, rules, and habits that make sense. Here's a 5-step framework you can start using today. You don't need to implement everything at once, but every step you take makes you harder to track, harder to exploit, and a lot less attractive as a target. Step 1. Draw the no-paste line. Before you even think about VPNs, decide this. What will I never paste or type into ChatGPT or any AI tool? Client IDs, full names plus addresses, bank details, internal passwords, or access links. Private relationship details that could seriously hurt you if exposed. If it would devastate you to see it in a breach dump or in someone else's inbox, it doesn't belong in a chat box. Ever. VPN or not. Step 2. Separate casual Wi-Fi from serious work. From now on, treat public Wi-Fi, airports, cafes, hotels, co-working spaces as hostile by default. On those networks, you should avoid logging into important accounts unless you absolutely must. Never check online banking or sensitive financial platforms. Use AI tools for low-risk tasks only, rewriting non-sensitive text, brainstorming public ideas, etc. And if you must handle sensitive tasks on public Wi-Fi, that's the moment when a VPN stops being nice to have and becomes non-negotiable. Step 3. Use a real VPN intentionally. Choose a reputable, paid VPN, not a random free one that turns your traffic into a product. And then use it with intention. Turn it on every time you connect to public Wi-Fi. Leave it on when you're using ChatGPT for anything that touches work, money, or your family. Prefer servers in regions you trust legally and politically, not just the closest or fastest. Remember, The VPN is your private tunnel out of that cafe, hotel, or airport. It doesn't give you a license to be reckless, but it dramatically reduces how much the local network and intermediaries can see. Step 4. Reduce your attack surface. Most of the time, you don't get hacked because of one dramatic event. You get hacked because of noise. Too many old accounts you never cleaned up. Too many devices logged in everywhere. Too many apps with permissions they don't need. Once a month, take one evening to change passwords on your most critical accounts: email, bank, cloud, password manager. Remove old logins and devices you don't use. Revoke app permissions that don't make sense anymore. Clean up old files and data you no longer need. Think of it as digital housekeeping. Boring? Maybe. But so is locking your front door every night. It still matters. Step 5. Build a minimum security habit. You don't need to obsess over every threat. You just need a few reflexes. If something feels urgent and emotional online, pause. Scammers love urgency. If you're about to paste something very personal into an AI chat, pause. Ask, do I really want this stored anywhere? If you're on public Wi-Fi, assume someone is watching. Turn on the VPN or wait until you're on a connection you control. You're not trying to be leak-proof. You're trying to be deliberate. This framework doesn't require you to quit AI, stop traveling, or live in fear. It simply turns you from an easy target into someone who takes their digital life as seriously as their physical life. In the next part, we'll zoom out and talk about what all of this says about you, your habits, your boundaries, and the kind of relationship you want with technology. Because this isn't just about ChatGPT, VPNs, or public Wi-Fi. It's about how you choose to exist in a world that never stops watching. Let's step back from the technical side for a moment. If you look closely, your online life is a mirror of your offline habits. If you're careless with what you click, if you always pick later instead of update now, if you let accounts and devices pile up with no order, it's often because your digital world inherited the same patterns as the rest of your life, rushing instead of planning, avoiding uncomfortable topics, hoping it won't happen to me, instead of preparing for the moment when it does. When Daniel finally sat down and looked honestly at his habits, he realized something painful. It wasn't just that he used ChatGPT on public Wi-Fi without a VPN. It was that he had spent years trading away little pieces of his privacy for convenience, speed, and comfort. Every "I'll deal with it later" became part of a bigger problem. Every reused password, every free app, every unchecked permission, every unprotected cafe session built up into a fragile structure that only needed one push to crack. Maybe you feel a bit of that in yourself too. That sinking sensation of, if someone saw my entire digital life, every login, every chat, every late-night search, I would feel completely exposed. Here's the good news. Feeling that discomfort is not a failure. It's a wake-up call. You don't have to become perfectly disciplined overnight. You don't have to undo years of habits in a week. You don't have to transform into a cybersecurity expert. You just have to make one decision. From today, I will stop pretending that my online life is not a big deal, because it is a big deal. Your chats reveal what you think about when nobody's watching. Your searches reveal what you're scared of, what you desire, what you regret. Your patterns reveal when you're awake, where you usually are, what you care enough to click on. When you start protecting that, you're not just installing a tool. You're drawing a line and saying, my data has value. My thoughts have value. My privacy has value. And I'm done giving it away for free. There's something quietly powerful about that. You go from being someone the internet can push around to someone who chooses when to connect, what to share, which risks are worth taking. You stop being ashamed of past mistakes and start using them as motivation to change. Yes, the digital world is unfair. Yes, companies and systems have far more power than you. Yes, you will still make mistakes. But there is a huge difference between walking through that world half asleep and walking through it with your eyes open. Using ChatGPT more safely, using VPNs intentionally, cleaning up your accounts, learning where your boundaries really are. These are not technical chores. They're small acts of self-respect. At the end of the day, security is not about becoming paranoid. It's about becoming honest. Honest about how exposed you really are. Honest about what you're not willing to lose. Honest about the kind of digital life you want to live from now on. So where does this leave you? You can't change the fact that the internet is messy, noisy, and often unfair. You can't control every company, every platform, every network owner, every line of code. But you can control how you show up in that world. You can decide that your chats, your searches, your late-night questions to AI are not just random data points. They're pieces of your story, pieces of your work, pieces of your family's future. And stories like that deserve protection. Using a VPN on public Wi-Fi, thinking twice before pasting something into ChatGPT, cleaning up your digital life once a month. These are not acts of fear. They're acts of maturity. You don't need to feel guilty about the past. We've all connected to free Wi-Fi without thinking. We've all reused passwords. We've all trusted tools more than we understood them. What matters is what you do after you see the truth. If this video made you pause, even for 1 second, before opening your laptop on public Wi-Fi, if it made you rethink what you share with AI, if it made you realize that your privacy is worth more than "I have nothing to hide," then something important already shifted. Here's what I'd like you to do next. In the comments, share one habit you're going to change after watching this. Maybe it's, "I'll stop using public Wi-Fi without a VPN." Maybe it's, "I'll stop pasting confidential stuff into chat boxes." Maybe it's, "I'll finally clean up my old accounts." If you want more videos that treat your online life with the depth it deserves, without fear-mongering, without sugarcoating, then stay with this channel. Like this video, subscribe, and when you have time, watch 1 or 2 more videos here about VPNs, online privacy, and protecting your digital self. And if you already know you use ChatGPT, public Wi-Fi, or remote work setups for things that truly matter, your money, your clients, your family, then give yourself a real layer of defense. Check the description, choose a serious VPN, and start using it like you pay rent for your digital life. Not because it's exciting, but because living without it is riskier than it needs to be. I'm not here to sell you the fantasy of being untouchable. I'm here to remind you that you don't have to be helpless. In an upcoming video, I'll take you behind the scenes of what actually happens on an open network and how easy it is for someone with the right tools to watch what you do if you don't protect yourself. Once you see it with your own eyes, you'll never look at the word free Wi-Fi the same way again. Until then, remember this. Every time you open ChatGPT on public Wi-Fi without a VPN, you're not just chatting with an AI. You're leaving footprints in places you don't control. You deserve better than that. And from today, you know exactly how to start.